Super Ty. It is July 9th. We're going to be talking about all the cool books that are coming out tomorrow, July 10th. I'm joined with my friend Comic Book Brando, and we're going to be talking about all the cool stuff. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to bring up, just put it in the little comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer you as quickly as possible. I'm going to start off with a book that I have been loving so far. It is Young Justice number 7. So, after the whole Gem World fiasco that was happening, where they got Princess Amethyst to join the team, they're now lost in the multiverse, which is more fun than it sounds, because one thing that I'm really digging, like, for example, they show up in the kids universe, and so the art is reflected that style, but they show up to all these other really big universes that have been a major part of DC history, and they're just trying to get home. They don't know why they're there, what's happening, all this other stuff. So yeah, they wind up on that Earth, which I thought was cool. So I've been really digging this a lot. The Wonder Comics imprint has been amazing. There's 3 titles. I'm going to talk about another one, and Wonder Twins is also coming out tomorrow. Yes. Yeah.
Batman number 74. This wraps up the walk through the desert with his long dead father, and their plan, or Dad's plan, to bring back Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty mysterious, pretty strange. How's Batman going to get out of this? Does Batman want to get out of this? Pretty fantastic issue, and wraps that up. And we're going to see where they go from here. I think we got some big things coming down the pipeline. And yeah, pretty intense storyline. What do you do in this situation? This is a really weird situation for Batman. So give this one a read. Tom King's Batman stuff has been anything but typical. Yeah.
My next one is Naomi, number 6. So this wraps up this first volume of Naomi. They're actually going to be doing another series called Naomi 2. But this is the wrap-up of her big origin story. She finally is going back to... oh, hey, James.
Hi, James.
She's going back to her home planet. And, if you've been reading the story, it's this, alternate Earth, but it's also, a place where only 20 people have gotten superpowers and everybody's gone. It's really kind of spooky thing that's happening there, but everybody's just trying to figure out where Naomi's place is in the DC universe now, and this kind of sets it up for really cool future things happening. I've been enjoying this one a whole lot. Once again, Wonder Comics has been amazing. Huzzah.
Huzzah. The Amazing Spider-Man number 25, featuring 60 pages of Spider-Man story. Awesome stuff. So, last issue we saw Mysterio killed, just to mess with Peter Parker by this strange being who's been haunting him called Kindred. We now have a name for it. So Spider-Man's dealing with that, and a little loose end from the Hunted storyline. Plus, MJ is having a little bit of a crisis of identity.
Oh, man.
She's going to a play with Carly Cooper, and Electro is causing trouble.
Goodness. Should never get a break. My next one is The Flash, number 74. So I've been reading this most recent story arc, the year 1 of Flash. So, so as you can tell, what happened was the Flash went to the future. He's learning how to use his powers. He runs into his older self, and the Turtle is now this warlord of America. And I know what you're thinking, the Turtle, really? But the way they set him up in this is really disturbing and makes him a good villain. So I've been loving this. I think there's one more issue after this. I didn't really read the entire thing because I really want to sit down and pick through it tonight. But yeah, I've been loving this thing. I'm enjoying The Flash again. It's been a long time, so I've been really digging this, especially the fact that, I think he has one of the top 3 rogues galleries of, DC. So I'm liking that they're throwing in the Turtle. Yeah.
Making him relevant again.
Turtle power.
Batman universe. Like last week's Superman universe, this is the sort of collection of the couple pages that would show up in those 100-page specials.
Yeah, the Walmart
things.
Yeah.
But now in a comic for true comic fans to read and appreciate and enjoy, Batman drops in on a room full of Riddlers. Well, that's a questioning kind of situation. Plus, he meets another Bendis character that Ty is familiar with in one of the books he's talked about.
Mm-hmm.
and another couple appearances in there as well. I don't want to spoil any surprises, but there is a mystery afoot, and we've been wanting to see Brian Michael Bendis' Batman for a long time, or at least I have, and now we can.
I wanted to see Nick Darrington draw a lot more of the DC universe.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist, and let me show you this. This is pretty good.
Is it just for me or is it for all of them?
I'm going to show this just for you and
Oh, okay.
tantalize those at home, but it's a lineup of Riddlers.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Good stuff.
My next one is Superman number 13. So this is also kind of a tie-in to the Year of the Villain stuff. It's called The Offer, and a lot of DC books out this week are going to have the same thing. The main story is Superman, his father Jor-El, everybody else that has been in this big galactic fight recently. They're all uniting against Rogol Zaal. Yeah, that's right. I remember the name this time.
It.
Yeah. But there's also, at the end of this, like, if you've been catching up with a lot of DC books, Lex Luthor offed himself, and he's like sending out this offer to all these different people in the, on Earth, just saying, here, this is what you need to win. And for some reason, he sent Lois Lane something.
Oh.
So you're kind of figuring like, oh, what's this all about?
I wondered why she had that cover.
Exactly. So, amazing Superman story, really cool backup story. All the other books, like main books, like Hawkman has one out this week as well. Justice League Odyssey, Detective Comics, they all have this like little offer back piece as well. So I'm really digging like giant shared universe stuff happening here.
Nice. This is a book I thought we would not get a chance to read, but it was picked up by Ahoy Comics. This is called Second Coming, and this is a pretty hilarious take on a look at religion and superheroics. So, Dad's a little disappointed in
Dad.
son's 33-year stint on Earth. Didn't really feel like he made much of an impression, and it looks like he really didn't. People getting messages wrong and mixed up, and so many, almost 2,000 years later, he decides to send his son back down to get some good advice and lessons from, I believe his name is Sunstar, the superhero who really knows a thing or two about kicking ass and taking names for the truth and justice, for the right things. Very funny first issue, very intriguing, but also thought-provoking, and I really dug it. I'm very excited to see where they go with it. Very unusual kind of book, very different. Some laughs, and then some
Yeah.
kind of moments. So give this a shot. I've really enjoyed a lot of what Ahoy Comics has been doing. As a new publisher, it honestly takes a lot to get my attention, and they did it pretty quickly. So good job, Ahoy. Take a look at this. I can't stop laughing at the dude being given bread.
Yeah. Forcibly.
Yes. Funny stuff. Really good. And let me know what you think about it.
Finally, in our own comic, Invisible Woman. This is by Mark Waid and Matea de... That's a capital I. Ilius.
That's it.
If that's a name.
You're a better man than I for attempting.
So, Invisible Woman, one of the oldest, greatest superheroes, one of the more powerful people of the Fantastic Four, I'd like to
She'd
think.
slap you if she heard you say that.
What? Not oldest, you know what I mean. Anyways, she is being recruited to be a spy, and she's got to go behind enemy lines. This issue is mostly focusing from her perspective of it, of just like, I've been called a lot of things, a superhero, a mom, a wife, a sister, a friend, but she wants some action, she wants to get out there on the front lines and do some crazy stuff. So, and then she meets up with one of her other friends behind enemy lines, and then the adventures afoot. And it also leads up to a really cool next cover by Adam Hughes as well.
Nifty.
Yeah, so I really dug this. I love Mark Waid. I love his writing of superheroes, so you guys would really like this. It's very nice.
I mean, Invisible Woman as a secret agent seems almost...
It's like perfect.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering why this hasn't happened before.
Brad says Second Coming is definitely on his list. Good, I'm glad you'll check it out. We've got Wonder Woman number 74. The Amazons are back.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
Yeah, so this is a big storyline they've been ramping up to. So we've had like all these like gods on our Earth trying to get by as sort of as regular people. But now we have the first hint, and it disappearance of the Amazonians. So
Yeah.
we can hopefully get back to normal. Wonder Woman would like to believe, but we shall see if it's what she expects it to be.
The next one is Wolverine and Captain America Weapon Plus. So, I know you know this, but did you know that Captain America was actually Weapon 1? And Wolverine is not Weapon X, he's Weapon 10. There's been a whole iteration of these weapons that are being made. There's also Fantomex, the Stepford Cuckoos, Deadpool, like all of those were part of this giant weapons program. And of course, Cap and Wolverine have been friends forever, and now they're starting to put the pieces of like, wait, how much are we connected throughout the years? So it's this big mystery involving, you know, the Weapon Plus program and all this other stuff. It's just a really fun sci-fi espionage adventure, and I like that in a Cap story. I really dig that, you know, where he gets to like let loose, not just be this shining beacon for everybody. He's just like, no, he can get down and dirty too. Fisticuffsmanship, you know? So I really dug this. You should definitely check it out.
Thor number 15. The War of the Realms is all wrapped up. We got to see the end of it, but this is like the nice,
Aperitif,
sure,
a nice little drink at the end of the meal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like a literary kind of like a not prologue.
Postlog.
Is that what it's called?
Postscript,
I guess.
because that's what PS stands
Well,
for
that's
at
like
the end.
I think it's more like the end of a book.
An epilogue?
Epilogue. That is the word I'm
I
looking
was
for.
saving that one.
I was dying.
I'm sorry, man.
Dying there. Okay, Thor number 50. Epilogue to War of the Realms. We have Thor. How much do I spoil? Thor is worthy,
Yeah.
and we've got changes with Jane, and Malekith has been torn asunder, and his fate is not final yet. So we've got a lot of conclusions in this issue. Like War of the Realms ended, but this is where the not just the Fiend, but the new beginnings of some of these characters as well. What's Thor going to do now that he is once again worthy? Awesome stuff. This is leading in towards the last Thor issue and the last Thor story by Jason Aaron,
Right.
which will be King Thor. So very excited about what's coming next. We're going to see more, and this is fantastic stuff.
Speaking of an epilogue,
James is like, epilogue, Brad's epilogue.
speaking of epilogues, there's another one also, the War of Realms Omega. So that issue mostly focuses on Thor and the big bad. This focuses on everybody else around. So finding out what's happening to Jane Foster, which, you know, if you've been reading it, you know what's happening with that, or if you look at solicitations for comics. Finding out what's up with Loki now, because Loki, you know, he got eaten in the first issue, and now he's out, and so you're going to see what's happening there. Very interesting story involving the Punisher. The Punisher is deciding, I don't know how exactly to put it without spoiling some things. Let's just say he's now going to be a really cool monster hunter. How's that? But yeah, I really dug it. I thought it was really awesome. I can't wait to see all the new series that are going to be spinning out of this, because there's going to be Valkyrie, there's going to be Loki, there's going to be Punisher Kill Crew. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be really cool stuff.
All right, read Thor first.
Yeah.
Then read Omega.
Yeah.
Criminal number 6. Teague Lawless is in love. He's had a rough life, just kind of living day to day as a criminal, just doing what he can to get paid. But now he's met this girl. Now, if you read the previous issue of Criminal, we saw a little bit of that story, and now we get to see a whole nother aspect of it, a whole different point of view, including some of the same moments of that previous issue. Awesome crime noir. Love this series. Brubaker and Phillips have crafted just like one of the greatest pieces of ongoing criminal fiction of all time. I'm hard pressed to think of anything that is pure true crime that has been going on as long.
I can't think of
Can't
it.
think of a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the old Mike Hammer
Stray
stories.
Bullets.
Stray Bullets. There you go.
Yeah.
Another comic book. You got me there. But yeah, this is a fantastic read. Highly recommended. You get great prose piece about the history of crime noir after every issue. Super good.
And stay tuned for more Ed Brubaker stuff when Brandon's getting to his trades.
Coming up shortly.
My next one is Black Hammer Justice League. It's crossover between two of my favorite books going on right now. So, if you're familiar with Black Hammer, if you're familiar with Justice League, in both of their worlds, this funny mustachioed man with a bowler hat comes up to, Abraham Slam and Superman. He's just like, you know what? You want out of this crazy farm world? I can help you out. And then he goes up to Superman and is like, you know what? You guys deserve a break. And then poof, they switch. And then they're just kind of stuck there. There's also a giant starfish-shaped villain that might show up later. It's on the cover of one of them, so it's not really spoilers. But yeah, written by Jeff Lemire, who I'm a huge fan of, and I think he can pull this off. Because when I first saw this, I was like, what? I guess.
Has Lemire done the DC characters before?
Yeah, he's done some DC stuff. He's done a lot of DC stuff. Now, you're going to ask me what it is. I know I'm going to mess up, but I know he has in the past.
Brad, you've read it.
Yeah.
If it exists.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this. I think Black Hammer is one of the best new properties that's been invented in the last, 10 years. So, yeah. Check it on out. I'm going to look this up while you're talking about your next one, because it's going to drive me crazy.
I don't remember him doing any DC stuff.
I
He's
know
done Marvel stuff.
I know he's done something.
Detective Comics. This is the second part of the two-part Spectre and Batman. I won't say team up. They are kind of working together, but they are sort of at odds as well.
Right.
Oh, I thought you had something.
No. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, so
It's not really a team up.
yes, they have a different way of going about things. Batman does not want to see anyone murdered, and that is pretty much exactly what Spectre does all the time. So there you go. Fun read, a little good two-parter, and leading into something maybe kind of big from Detective next.
Okay, so Jeff Lemire has done The Nobody for Vertigo, Sweet Tooth, Animal Man from the New 52.
Animal Man.
Yeah, he did that. He's written Trillium was a Vertigo book.
I knew the Vertigo.
Okay,
ones.
the
I was thinking
Atom,
just DC characters.
Adventure Comics, Action Comics, Superboy, Flashpoint, Frankenstein, The Creatures of Unknown, Animal Man.
Some scattering of things outside of
Yeah,
mostly Animal.
Justice League Dark. He was the first guy on that New 52 run. So yeah. Anyways, he also did a huge run on Green Arrow. My next one is from Image Skybound. This is called Reaver by Justin Jordan. Justin Jordan, you might remember him. He did Spread. He also did Luther Strode. So this is kind of like a dirty half dozen. It's taking place in a fictional old...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading about this.
Yeah. So it's like taking place in the past on this lost continent, which is like the United States, before it's the United States. North America, that's what I'm looking for. And this one guy, he's a sergeant, and he's on death row because he ran away from battle for cowardice. And they offer him this, mission saying, hey, we need you to sneak these 6 people over to this other land. And then it's just like straight up Dirty Dozen stuff. It's awesome. There's this lady who's, the best way to put it is like a pygmy witch with sharp teeth, and she will eat you. There's a giant berserker, Viking guy. There's a lot of, there's also a very fancy lad, who's like a spy. So there's like some really cool stuff happening in here. I like Justin Jordan's writing. He has a really good way of like picking up some action in there. So I'm definitely up for this.
I'm pretty picky about my fantasy-like stuff, but that seemed very appealing.
Yeah, it's really good. I dug it a whole lot.
And Brad was on it. Justice League Dark, Superboy,
Thank you, Brad.
Green Arrow, Animal Man.
Had it.
Here's one I was crazy excited about. Giant Size X-Statix. I was a huge fan of the early 2000s X-Force / X-Statix run by Peter Milligan, Michael Allred. It was super fun and super crazy. It was mutant superheroes as celebrities, as like, and the book actually was like kind of like insanely predictive.
Yeah, it very much was.
Of where we would be like 10 years after the book came out. It was so good and just dead on, and this is like sort of like set in real time. So X-Statix is a thing of the past. Most of them are dead, gone, because that team had a very high mortality
It
rate.
did, the first issue
The
alone.
first issue knocked my socks off.
Yeah.
Only like
You're just like, okay.
3 members of the team lived through past the first issue. It was so good, and Allred's artwork is just fantastic. The character designs are so good. So I was really stoked to see them come back, especially with You Go Girl
Yeah.
on the cover. She's been gone a long time, and some changed characters. So what's going on? Read this issue, find out. It tells you everything you need to know about it without having read anything before. It's a great reintroduction to these characters, and it's leading into something new. So check it out. Highly recommended. It'll have my recommends tag on it. A lot of fun, weird, and just like pop culture, celebrity, media frenzy. Mayhem continues.
Also, I believe we have a bag set of all the original series as well.
Do we really?
Yep, I believe so. And we also, there's, you know...
Like the entire series?
Yeah. Yeah, Jay showed it to me. So...
That's like a hard, like you can't even get the omnibuses of that anymore.
Oh, you can't?
I think they're all out of print.
Oh.
I think they're actually very hard to get. So,
Oh, damn.
do we have like a price on that set?
Somewhere.
you don't know.
Probably on it.
I put you on the spot.
It's all good.
I have all the issues at home because I was crazy about
Oh, yeah. That was my first Allred book.
it. So if you're one of the early ones tomorrow, you should get that set. It's really good.
My next one is a new series that I had... Well, what?
Brad says, hell yeah, Ecstatics. And James says, Dupe rules.
Dupe does rule.
Dupe does rule.
Indeed. My next one, I didn't really know much about it. All I saw in the solicitations was the cure is worse than the disease, and I didn't know what that meant. But after reading Unearth #1 from Image, I totally get it. And it's disturbing. It was written by Cullen Bunn. It's basically there's this new disease that like will mess you up pretty bad, like, you know, a super flu kind of thing, but it also affects some people by making them giant, bulbous, tumorous people that are just like crawling into themselves. It's like very body horror kind of stuff happening there. And this CDC group that is being escorted by the military think they find a cure in the bottom of this cave, and man, it just goes nuts from there. It's a little bit like The Descent, but with like medical stuff happening. How's that? Does that make sense? Did you ever see The Descent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like medical things too. So, yeah, can't wait to see where this goes. The artwork's really solid in it as well. I just love this cover. I think it's amazing. So, yeah, definitely give this a shot if you're wanting to get weird with it.
Unnerving.
Yeah,
Brad also busted out Justice League United
because he's Canadian. Yep.
Correct. Unnatural issue 11, which I believe is the penultimate issue
It
of
is.
this run. 12 issue series. It's been utterly fantastic the entire time. In this issue, we get to see Leslie fighting back a little bit against this albino wolf spirit that is trying to take her over. We also get the history of the Glands. So this malicious force that we have learned is apparently Leslie's mother, who's been the driving force of this entire campaign to bring back this crazy evil force for power purposes. But a lot more details, a lot more stuff going on in here, why this came about, how this came about, what's going on, and a big lead in for the last issue.
Oh man,
Super
can't
good.
wait. And I'm gonna reread the entire thing when issue
Beautiful
12 comes out.
artwork, just one of the prettiest books on the sands today.
Once again, we never thought we would like that book, but man.
Yeah, I mean, I literally saw it the first time. I was like, oh, pig sex book, huh?
All right.
Probably not.
Yeah, but then you read it, and
It's so good.
Brad's asking if we watched Stranger Things season 3. I did.
I've watched one episode.
Yeah.
I'm ready for more,
It's-
but I've had no time.
I watched it all within like a day and a half, and it was great. I'm not gonna say anything else than that for respect.
I appreciate that. I'm super stoked about it.
Spoiler, it takes place in the 80s. My next one is Venom number 16. Donny Cates is back on the book now that War of Realms is over.
Welcome
and
back.
This is also a huge setup to the Absolute Carnage big event that's going to be happening over the summer. So, Eddie, his kid Dylan got like a little sick. He's got a cold. And unfortunately, Eddie doesn't have any money for medicine or for even soup or anything. So Eddie decides to go freelancing a little bit, reporter style. And then he just stumbles into all this crazy stuff. But here's the problem. Eddie doesn't have the symbiote in him anymore, but he keeps thinking he does. He has this dark side that he just imagines of himself that is Venom. And like he realizes, oh, even without the symbiote, I am Venom, no matter what. So it's like a really big turn psychologically for him, like, because he's ready to just like chomp people's faces off, but you know, with his regular face. So, what?
Would you eat a Venom ice cream sundae?
Do I get superpowers?
They're like Venom powers.
Sure,
Ugh.
definitely.
Brad also plowed through and watched all Stranger Things, it seems, so no
Right.
spoilers. James loves Unnatural. Can't wait for the hardcover. That was the first thing I thought too. Is like, I'm holding off on the
For a big
soft covers
hardcover.
and just get
Yeah.
the nice.
I hope that
hardcover.
happens.
It's got to happen, right? 12 issues, it's perfect.
I hope so.
Black Cat #2. Crazy fun issue. She's got her squad together and she's being tasked by the Black Fox, who was basically her predecessor and a friend, a teacher of her father, to steal something very mystic from a very mystical place and a very mystical person. Who could that be? But she's going to need help with that because, you know, common crooks and criminals can't bust into any kind of well-known magic holding buildings in New York City. So they'll get what they call a Merlin.
Okay. Oh, like a grease man or something, like a driver? A Merlin.
Like a specialist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool, super
like that
fun.
idea.
And things go badly immediately. So awesome. I really enjoy this new series. I love Black Cat as a character, so I'm on board.
My next one is my first trade paperback. No, Venom's not on bath salts, but man, it kind of looks like it a little bit. My first collection is Green Lantern, the hardcover for Interstellar Lawman.
Intergalactic Lawman.
I can't talk today. Intergalactic Lawman by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. So, personally, I thought Green Lantern books were getting a little stale after a while. You know, like, no harsh criticism or anything. It's just like, you know, after Blackest Night, Brightest Day, and all this stuff, those were huge. Sinestro, Core War, those were huge things. This brought me back because it is banana face. It involves Hal Jordan trying to arrest God, space junkies. What else? Hal Jordan becoming a 6-armed smuggler? All this kind of crazy stuff happening that only Grant Morrison could come up with. Just like, oh yeah, God's this really nice bearded dude that also is a giant toothed monster that wants to eat the world in 1,000 years. Like, just crazy stuff. I've really been digging this. Liam Sharp's artwork in this is amazing also, because you're just like, how do you make a, you know, Cockney accented space spider guy? Well, he did it, and it was great. So, I love it.
Look at this.
Yeah.
New Mutants, the Demon Bear Saga. This is volume 2 of the New Mutants Epic Collection series. So many classic comics. This is probably like the most classic run from New Mutants.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess the Rob Liefeld one's pretty classic too, but this is my favorite. So
Yeah, Bill Sienkiewicz, man.
Yeah, Claremont writing, Severin artwork, Bill Sienkiewicz artwork and covers, and just beautiful book, awesome sort of mysterious, spooky story. And at the time, characters that we didn't really know that much about. So we get to, a lot of their history is in this book. Everything is told. We get to learn a lot more about them. So super cool. If you've never read the original New Mutant stuff, I highly recommend getting volume 1 and volume 2 and just treating yourself to like a good classic run of comics from the 80s, which will be like a big deal in the coming year or two. I think we'll see like a movie or TV series.
Well, the
or
New
something.
Mutants movie that's
Is it
supposed
back
to be
on?
coming. Yeah, apparently it's now is going back on track, and it's going to be based off of Demon Bear.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I remember it being like that storyline. I'm like, oh, that's a cool choice.
Yeah.
Very different from what I expected.
I'm stoked.
So you can prep for it right now.
Yeah. My next one is my favorite Spider-Man series going on, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is volume 1. It's called Secrets and Rumors. So this isn't like some grand, huge story Spider-Man book. This is more like him just going around his neighborhood trying to help people out, like dropping a couple bucks off to the, you know, friendly homeless guy on the street, or, you know, like, what's Aunt May up to? Stuff like that. The whole story actually starts with this very nice lady who leaves her superpowered twins for Peter in his apartment, and he's just kind of stuck with children. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's my kind of Spider-Man story. It's just like, let's see what happens here. That old Parker luck. So, yeah, my favorite Spider-Man book going on right now. You should definitely check this out if you haven't yet.
Grass Kings by Matt Kent and Tyler Jenkins. This is a Boom Studios book about a kind of unique trailer park, which is sort of like self-sustained. Like it's a kingdom, a fiefdom, if you will. And there are these three brothers, these leaders of the trailer park, and they have to make some pretty big decisions about helping people. About the best way I could put that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, will they help this mysterious young woman, or are they more concerned about protecting their own? Matt Kent tells a different kind of story. He's just as comfortable in like the comic book superhero world, but some of my favorite stuff of his is like his own unique fiction. So there you go.
My last one is a book that I loved very dearly. It's called Murder Falcon. It is the most rock and roll book you can imagine for a lot of different reasons. But it also has a lot of heart to it. It's about, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's also about loss and dealing with that loss. I loved it. Basically, the whole point of this book is there's musical instruments that are imbued with the power of the metal. And each instrument has like a guardian attached to it. So this guy has a guitar that is attached to Murder Falcon. And so the more he shreds and the more he plays, the better Murder Falcon is at fighting monsters. It's awesome. There's also a drum set that's attached to a woolly mammoth. I was like, yeah, that's great. So very good book, very great book with heart also. Like if you grew up in the 80s at all, I really think you would like this because there's some surprise cameos in here that I also really dug a whole lot. Like, I think you would love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
As a drummer, would you accept the woolly mammoth as your spirit animal?
I would. Love me some elephants.
Nice. Bad Weekend. Right. Once again, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This was a 2-issue storyline from Criminal.
Yep.
Which told the story of an older, surly comic creator, comic strip artist who has a gig at a convention he just doesn't want to go to. Doesn't want to do it. Doesn't like doing these things at all, and he's got a rough history in the biz. So this one has like a lot of uncomfortably realistic kind of like analogies to the real comic book industry. But really interesting and meaty too. So like, if you know any of the Criminal books or any of the other Brubaker books, they've got this very like grit to them that's like, you know, sort of a salt in the wound, but also like extremely compelling, really good storytelling. It's super good. It's very, you read it, you just go, we did bad things.
Yep.
But that was like every creative industry, honestly. Music, movies,
Yeah.
everyone.
Can I tell them something cool about this book?
Sure.
If you pick it up tomorrow, we also have signed book plates.
I was gonna ask if we had if we had ordered enough. I figured we had.
We have
because-
one for each copy.
Nice.
That's what we got.
So you want to get your copy first. You want to get it tomorrow, so
Yeah.
that you get that sweet book plate.
Yeah.
I'll be getting this one.
And so that's what we got comics-wise.
We got
Do
a
you
bunch
have-
of them though, right? Didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, a lot of people pulled them on the pull list. Did you know about those?
I did know about the
Yeah, the pull list. If you are not familiar with our pull list, we basically send you an email out every Monday. You click what you want, you send it back for us, ready first thing Wednesday morning. Let's talk about all the cool stuff we have coming up.
What do we have coming up?
I don't know. I was thinking I forgot something, but I don't really.
You don't have anything cool coming up?
I got some shows next week, but other than that, I don't have anything planned here.
All right, so tonight at Outlaw Moon, we've got Casual Magic the Gathering. There's a D&D group meeting up. If you want to be in a D&D group, we can work to put you into a group as well. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I'd like to get some more new players. Talk about getting that going again, because we have some ongoing campaigns, but haven't had any welcome new experiences yet, or in a while. Friday, we've got more Casual Magic. We also are doing a draft of the new Core Set 2020 that comes out this week. Officially comes out on Friday. So we'll have plenty of those. And Saturday, of course, is our game night. Always playing different stuff, trying it out, playing old favorites. Played a few games last week. Tried Azul, a beautiful little tile game where you're trying to complete rows and patterns with these neat little tiles. Seems kind of simple, but I was like really kind of scrutinizing the strategy of what I was going for, because you're taking tiles that other people might need and vice versa. Super good.
Nice. You got anything else going on?
Nope.
Cool. I'll tell everybody about my shows next week because they're next week. So I guess you can follow me at Super Ty Denton 1. And then you can follow you at
Comic Book Brando.
You can follow both of us at Austin Books, and we will see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Or Thursday.
Or whenever you want to come by, honestly. We're cool.
At your convenience.
Yeah.